So lastly, individuals with ADHD, yes, they change. Okay, based on the support strategies you're giving them, because there should be a uniformity or collaboration between the house, the school, and you. So if you are not the class teacher, you're a therapist, you're a special need educator, you're a facilitator or a shadow teacher, you should know that there should be a collaboration between the three of you. You can't say, well, only me will be doing it, and the school will not do it on the house, and you expect results to happen. It will never happen. Never. You'll just be wasting your time, and later they will tell you, that thing you did, we're not even seeing changes in my child. But you are working, you didn't work, you didn't try. But put in the work, add collaboration to it, and your work will be seamless. I'm impressed. Tell my Ige, the anointed teacher. I need to introduce myself. Okay, the next one we have is APD, and APD is auditory processing disorder. These are the type that they have normal hearing, they have no issue with their ears, but they have difficulty processing what is being said to them. They have difficulty with understanding concept of what is being said to them. So you might say something and they will hear something else. Okay, you might be saying splash. So they need to see your mouth formation more for them to understand what you are saying or to pick what you are saying. So this ones, they have issue with also distinguishing between similar sounds. They struggle with getting or understanding instructions. So how do you help children like this? You talk slowly. Let them look at your mouth. So don't talk when they are backing you. They don't have hearing problem. Like I said again, it's just that they have auditory processing disorder. Okay, and this type, there's no therapy apart from sensory integration. Okay, that would help. So you can't say, well, I'm a behavioral therapist. It's only sensory integration that will help them with their sound. Then the next one is visual processing disorder. And these are the ones that you might write something and they will copy something else. So you might see a little of this in dyslexia, in dyscalculia, and all that. So how do you have these ones? Use visuals, use color overlays, color coding will help for children like this. Okay, so visual aids is your go-to with children that has visual processing disorder, and the other one is language disorder. Now, language disorder is not the same with speech disorder. Now, language disorder is that you say something, the child knows the word, but cannot link the word to a meaning or link it to real life. They can say, oh, God, Dad, or they can even tell you go. But when you now say, go and get me, they are lost. They are lost. So how do you help this type of children? Speech and language therapy is what you use, yeah? But you need to start from the scratch, start from their pre-linguistic skills. Start with pre-linguistic skills, then you start moving it up. Okay, so they need to pay attention to you first. They need to conceptualize words, not just know the words. They are not just to say the words, they are to link it to. So when you say apple, the child needs to go and bring apple to put to what you were saying. And then the next is executive functioning disorder, and this will often show with children that have autism. Okay, so this is where they have issues with their planning, organizing, tasks, thinking, reasoning, comprehension. So how do you help? The step-by-step instruction is what you need. So no, like go. When child go, when child is not going already, and I say call this person. Visual aids again. Visual aids again. Then also the child needs CBT. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy, because the child needs CBT. So if you are just a shadow teacher, tell them to get the child a behavioral therapist. But if you are the one working with that child, then CBT is what you need to help with that child. I think you will learn about that in your behavioral therapy class. Okay, so I'll not be handling that. And then we also have non-verbal learning disorder, and that is where a child cannot talk at all, just make sounds. So you need to know, okay, if the child is just making sounds and cannot talk, cannot say words, then what you need to do is build on the child's sound. Child is saying ba ba ba, you say, oh, bad, baby. So you are not to start teaching child what child does not know yet. So you start from the child's own knowledge, then you start adding your own words. Then you check, okay, is it the child's truth? Is it that the child morsel? So is it that child have malfunctional disorder? That one is a speech therapy that will do that. Okay, so this type of things can affect the child learning. The child is not talking on you're doing nah. So the child needs speech therapy. So this class is to help you understand, okay, things that can affect the child learning development. And so I've mentioned everything that can affect a child's learning development, and some things you'll be learning them in your special need class. I'm just here to talk about understanding learning difficulty and how to help a child with learning difficulty. This is just module 1. Just Moodle 1. I see how packed it is. Just Moodle 1. I can't wait to see you in the next class. So Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. I think we have 8 modules. 8 modules. I will complete this. Don't worry. Once again, I'm impressed. Tell my EG the anointed teacher. And I'm yours in support. Till we see again in the second module. So we have dyspraxia. And dyspraxia has to do with muscles. Okay, it might be with the muscle of the tongue, the cheek. So these ones, you will see clumsiness. They are the ones that can't carry load for too long. They can't climb staircase for too long. So these ones we need occupational therapy. But you as their support person, you help them with building their fine motor skills. Help them with, like, if it is their mouth, if it is their strength, please, even though you do therapy, but don't stretch their muscles too much unless they will break down. Okay, no matter their weight, the weight does not determine the muscle development. So that is what dyspraxia is all about. So this can affect the child. Imagine when you're saying a child with dyspraxia should write too much. The child muscle is not cooperating. So that means you have to build on the child pre-handwriting exercises. Occupational therapy is just key. Okay, but before you start now doing occupational therapy, you as the support person know that this child can't write too much. So you limit the type of writing activity to the child. If you're engaging the child in movement, know that this type of children will not be able to move too much. If it is, oh, let's go after and come down and says, oh, punishment, you know that they can't self punishment too much. If it is that the type of child we need to read, they can't read too much because they can't strain their brain too much. So it depends on what is affecting the child. The person shows the manifest might come in the way the child is pronouncing words. So that would mean we have to do speech therapy. Might change in the way the child's module, that's occupational therapy. If it's hand-to-eye coordination, it's occupational therapy. If it is now the brain part, that's behavioral therapy. So we need to know who is handling what. Yours is just to give support. Thank you very much. Hello, today we'll be talking about ADHD, and ADHD means attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Okay, so what is ADHD? ADHD is a neurological condition that affects impulse control, activity level, and attention of an individual. So ADHD is categorized into predominant, as in based on the predominant symptoms. Okay, based on the predominant symptoms. Oh, so some people say there's ADD, there's ADHD. I tell people there's no ADD again. ADD has been scrapped since 1999. So last year, before we used to have ADHD 1, ADHD 2, and ADHD 3. Now it's been scrapped. Is no more ADHD 1, ADHD 2, and ADHD 3. So you're going to learn the new type of ADHD we have, the meaning, the signs, and the solutions. Number 1 is predominantly inattentive type. It was formerly known as ADD, but now it is ADHD-PI. That's the first one. That one we used to call that changed from ADD to ADHD1. Now it is ADHD-PI. And this is the one that you will not see hyperactivity, but the child will find it difficult to focus on tasks. The child will be inattentive. The child will have issues with organization and following through with tasks. The child will find it difficult to follow through with complex instructions. They are the type that will easily forget message being sent. Like when you send them something, by the time they get to halfway, they're like, what did this person send me? The type that when they are writing, they can't remember where they stopped writing, and they have to, even if they got into the last part, you have to read from the beginning to the end to know where they are. Then they're the ones that when anything's happening around them, they're easily distracted. So how do you help children like this in your classroom? You help them by using visual reminders, setting schedules, using daily tasks. Like you give them little tasks, break tasks into smaller concepts. Then always give simple instructions than complex instructions. Also, this side, because when they're in classroom, might be talking and the child just start daydreaming, or the mind will just wander away. So this type, you have to keep asking questions or calling them back, have icebreakers. Icebreakers are things, activities that will make them know that, okay, this person is on my neck. For example, you're this one, they say, oh, can everybody stand up now? Can we move around? Can you clap? Are you hearing me? What did I say last? Okay, what does this mean? What did you hear last? What's the meaning of this word? When I said this, what did I mean? You keep asking questions so that they need to stay with you in class. Or else you just talk when you're done. They've forgotten. There's a child I recently, he said, I don't even know my mind used to leave the class. So I assessed him recently. He said, I just know that I'm in the class. And I asked him, okay, so if you were a teacher, what would you have done differently to make it? He said, I think I would make it more fun filled. Like we'll have more activities that will make me move around because the class is boring. So a child with ADHD will find it boring to stay in class, to stay on topic and stay in subject. So these are methods you can use to help a child or a learner with ADHD PI. Number 2 is predominantly hyperactive impulsive disorder, or we call it type, and this one is the ADHD-PH. It used to be ADHD2, but now it's ADHD-PH. What did I say? ADHD-PH. So this is marked by inattention, like fever-related attention issues, excessive movement, struggling with taking turns. The child is always fidgeting, not staying on seat. They find it difficult to sit. They talk out of turns. They don't find it easy to queue online or wait for something. They don't like taking turns. This type of child now will always jump into conversation. They have issue with their impulse, okay? So immediately they anything that comes to their mind, they act without thinking. So they act before they think. So the consequences, they might not think of that. They just do things. So it's not like they want to be rude or they want to jump into your conversations. What's just happening is that the impulse take control before the brain comes to work. Okay, they are the type that when you will say something, they will always talk excessively. So when they say, today we're talking about water, they say, yes, hey, yesterday, mommy now fetching in the house, hey, the water now poured, what is not even your business, or what does it even relate to what you're talking about? You might say, are you the first one or the last one? They say, I'm the fourth, but I have another sister, I have another brother, that one is 14 years, the next is 2, the other one is that. You didn't ask, you didn't ask. The only thing you ask is, what position are you in your family? Are you the firstborn, secondborn, or the last? They will tell you the story of their family. Okay, so it is not their fault. Now, how can you help children like this? Allow movement break. Let there be a time that they can just move around. Either go to the toilet, go to the playground, but you can even say, go and break something from in the next class. What you don't need, just because they need to self-regulate. Now, teach self-regulation tools like deep breathing, blowing of air into your palm, pressing your palm together, giving yourself a tight hug and all that. Then set clear expectations. Like, this is what we're doing. This is what we want to achieve. This is what I want you to do. So there is like a roadmap for children like that. So you want to teach that type of child, set a roadmap. Okay, set a roadmap and don't be harsh. Like, you can't say, no, they're very rude. No, it's not. The child, like I said, they act without thinking. So when they say, so what is the rule? So you always have a rule or a sign that makes you know, I have talked out of turn again. Do you understand? Okay, so these are the ways you can help a child with ADHD PH. Okay, like I said, it's more of impulse. Like the one that will enjoy your class very well. So that means where they are sitting should be clear of any obstacle, because they will always move. So all your teachings, your subjects, when you do something, can you go and clean the board for me? Or can you come and go and share the pen? Go and share be sending them message, because they need to move to regulate. And if they don't regulate, whatever you're teaching, they are not learning. Then the last type of ADHD is ADHD type C. It's not type C charger. ADHD type C, and this means the ADHD is combined. It's carrying both the first one and the second one. So what you just have to do is combine both strategies and infuse fidget toys. Set visual timer, like when you give the child task, let there be a visual timer for both of you. The child will be seeing it. Either you're teaching online or you're teaching physically, let there be a visual timer. Set a time, like, this one will finish, because by the time you're saying the child should read, child will read one. Talk, say another thing. When you say right, child says, no, let's not write now. See, let me tell you something first. And my time is okay because you want to be a nice teacher. Okay, let me listen. if you do that with a child with ADHD, you just waste 1 month. You just like you not achieve anything, because the child will keep giving you gist back to back. But that doesn't mean that you should be shunning the child. It's just that you should tell them, okay, this is what we're doing now. Later you will tell me that story, but let's do this now. So finish on time so that you can tell me the story. Okay, so that's like more of the child is expecting something like, let me quickly finish, I'll be able to give, because they like gist. Then also your class should have fidget toys, because children like this need fidget toys. Fidget toys are things like spinner. You can go search on Google. We have spinner, we have pop, we have squeeze ball, we have slime, we have kinetic sand, we have Play-Doh. So there are lots of fidget toys that this type of children can bring to school. We have Rubik cube. That there are lots of things that children can bring to school.